Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start break-even charts. But before break-even chart, we will practice our single product break-even analysis again, and then we will discuss the break-even charts. A company makes and sells a single product. The selling price is 12 per unit. The variable cost of making and selling the product is 9 per unit, and the fixed cost per month are 2,40,000. The company budgets to sell 90,000 units of the product a month required. What is the budget profit per month? And what is the break-even point in sales? What is margin of safety? What must sales to be achieve a monthly profit of 1,20,000? Again, it is the revision of single product break-even analysis. So first of all, you have to calculate the profit, first requirement. Now we will calculate the contribution per unit. The formula of contribution per unit is selling price minus variable cost. And in the question, your selling price is 12, variable cost is 9. You will get the contribution per unit, that is 3 per unit. I have to calculate the profit. So we will calculate the total contribution. Total contribution is equals to 3 into how much units we budgeted to sell? 90,000. So your total contribution is 2,70,000 less fixed cost that amounts to be 2,40,000. So you will get your profit of 30,000. This is your profit. Now I have to calculate the margin of safety. That is then we have to calculate the break-even point. The formula of break-even point in units is, which we already discussed, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. I already have fixed cost of 2,40,000 and the contribution per unit is 3. So you will get your break-even units of 80,000 units. Now I have to calculate margin of safety. Margin of safety is the budgeted difference of the budgeted sales unit minus break-even units. Budgeted sales unit is 90,000 units. Break-even units, which we have already calculated, is 80,000 units. I will get the margin of safety of 10,000 units. Next requirement is calculate the revenue or the profit units required to get the profit of 1,20,000. I have to calculate target sales units. Target sales units is equals to fixed cost, that is 2,40,000 plus profit of 1,20,000 divided by contribution per unit, that is 3. I will get my target units of 1,20,000. If we sell 1,20,000 units, then you will get the profit of 1,20,000. Okay. You can also check this units. How? I already calculated the contribution per unit. I will get the total contribution now for the 1,20,000 units. 1,20,000 into contribution per unit, that is 3, you will get 3,60,000 less fixed cost. Fixed cost is 2,40,000 and you will get your profit of 1,20,000. Okay, this is the revision of again single product break-even point. Now, single product break-even charts. What is the break-even chart? Is a graphical representation of firm's cost revenue at different levels of output, showing the point at which cost and revenue are equal, that is break-even point. As we already discussed, when total revenue is equals to total cost, this is your break-even point. No profit, no loss. Now, break-even chart is based on the cost by behavior. That's why we will revise the cost by behavior concept. Fixed cost. What is your fixed cost? As we know, in cost by behavior, we classify the cost according to the activity level. So, when we define the fixed cost, we set the cost which cannot change when the activity level is fixed cost, like the rent of the factory, salaries of the managers, insurance. That is all examples of the fixed cost. If we draw the graph of the fixed cost, we will take this point of origin, x-axis, y-axis. Keep in mind, on x-axis, we will always take independent factor. Independent factor is a factor which brings the changes in other factors. Like units brings the change in the cost, so the activity level is independent and cost is dependent. And on y-axis, you will take the dependent factor. Now, when I draw the graph for the fixed cost, it is parallel to x-axis, constant because the fixed cost cannot change with the activity level. It remains constant. Now, variable cost. Variable cost is the cost which varies with the activity level. Increase in units, increase in cost. That is your variable cost. Like the direct material cost. If you need 2 kg for 1 unit, if you produce the 2 units, you need 4 kg. So if your units will increase, your cost will also increase. When I draw the graph for the variable cost, it will move from origin to upward. Why? Because if you produce nothing, your cost is zero. So variable cost can be zero, but fixed cost can never be zero. Why? Because even you have no production, you have to pay your fixed expenses. So this is the behavior of the variable cost. We can say all the direct cost is the variable cost and the direct cost includes, for your reminder, direct cost or prime cost is equals to direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. Now, variable cost. Those cost, a semi-variable cost is the cost which contain fixed and variable cost. It is the cost which behave like fixed and variable cost at the same time. Fixed plus variable, like utilities, electricity. If I take the example of the electricity bill, line rent or the meter rent, meter standing charges, in other words, is fixed. Consumption charges is variable. So when I draw the graph for the semi-variable cost, it behaves like that. This is the point. This point is called your fixed cost point. This is your total cost line, which represents the fixed plus variable cost. This is the behavior of semi-variable cost. Now, we will make the graph for single product break-even chart. When we draw, we will draw on the graph fixed cost, total revenue, and total cost. Now, you know how the fixed cost will behave. Fixed cost is behave like that. How the total revenue behave, they are also variable behave like that. And what about the total cost? It behave like semi-variable cost. We can say semi-variable or the total cost. So all these three behaviors are shown in this graph, and we will see this straight line is your fixed cost line. The red line is your total revenue line, and the line that is start from the upward from the origin, that is your total cost line. Okay, if I want to find the fixed cost, this is the point of your fixed cost, which is approximately 90,000. Okay, now the point at where the total cost and revenue intersect each other, this point is called your break-even point. So your break-even point in terms of units is 400. If I see in this graph, if I read the graph, break-even in units is 400 and break-even in revenue is 200,000. Here you can see your cost is higher than your revenue. Revenue line is less, or the revenue is less than your cost. So before break even, this is the area of loss. And now you can see revenue is more than total cost. This is your profit. So before the break even, you are a loss-making product. And then after break even, you will get or you will convert it into profit-making product. All this area is your fixed cost. And this is the area for your variable cost. So this is all about your break-even chart. You can also find the margin of safety. How you can find? You can expand this line, and this is your budgeted revenue, budgeted sales unit. This is your break-even units. So the difference between budgeted and break-even units is called your margin of safety. This difference is known as margin of safety. Now, the second graph relating to the single product is profit volume chart. This graph only shows the profit volume line. That line is also known as PV line, profit volume line. On x-axis, you can take your units or sales unit or the sales revenue on x-axis. Okay, and you have y and y dash. This is y dash, this is y, and this is the point of origin. Okay. At y, you have profits. This is your profit. And at y dash, you have loss. PV line, or when we draw the profit line, we start this line from the maximum loss point. The maximum loss in any organization is equals to fixed cost. So I will start making the PV line from the maximum loss point, and that maximum loss is equals to your fixed cost. So we started from the fixed cost point. This is your fixed cost, and we will move upward. This is your break-even point. Break-even in revenue. Before break-even, you have loss. This is your loss area, and this is your profit area. If I expand this line, it is a straight line, and all this is your fixed cost. This is your profit, and this is your fixed cost. Okay, we have learned profit is equals to contribution minus fixed cost. If I want to find the contribution from this equation, what I will do? I will add the fixed cost plus profit. So if I want to find the contribution from break-even profit line, then it will be calculated as profit plus fixed cost. Now, we are discussing an example. The break-even chart for the data in activity 1 has been sketched. Required match the following labels to the letter on the graph. total cost line, margin of safety, break-even point, and total revenue. Okay. The numbers are mentioned. We will define. This is your break-even point. So at point A, you have break-even. Okay. What is the C shows? C shows your total revenue. Your total revenue line is C, and your total cost line is D. What about margin of safety? Margin of safety is the B, difference between the budgeted and the break-even sales. You have budgeted sales of 500. Margin of safety is at point B. How we will calculate? 5,000 minus 3,800, and you will get your contribution, that is 1,200. Now, the next question is, test your knowledge too, that the following is a sketch of the profit volume chart for the activity one required. What is the letter Z represents? Okay, this is your break-even point. This is your profit area. This is your loss area. And this is my fixed cost. I have to tell the Z shows this is your fixed cost. Okay. As I earlier told you, profit, if I want to calculate the contribution in indirect way, it is equals to profit plus fixed cost. I have profit of 1,800 and fixed cost of 5,700. You will get your contribution. It is equals to 7,500. This is all about the single product break-even chart.